In this video, we're going to be taking a look at cybersecurity roadmap for complete beginners in 2025 and 2026. All right. And the last video that I did was all about top 5 highest paying tech skills to learn in 2026. And someone commented on YouTube that I should do a video on cybersecurity for the absolute beginner. So that's what I want to take a look at in this video. So cybersecurity is exploding right now, and companies are really getting hacked every week. Salaries are really rising, and the demand for skilled security professionals in 2025 and even 2026 is going to increase tremendously. But the problem now is most beginners don't even know where to start so that they can actually qualify for roles that are actually going to be coming out of these cybersecurity issues. So today, I'm giving you the complete undiluted cybersecurity roadmap from absolute beginner to job ready. So we're not going to have no fluff, no confusion, just a clear step-by-step guide you can follow even if you are starting from zero. So let's start from phase 1. And now on this phase 1, we're going to take a look at the foundations, all right? And before you touch any hacking tools or try to break into systems, you need to understand the fundamentals. This is where most people get stuck, but this is also where you separate yourself from the crowd. Now, let's take a look at a few steps that we should be able to take so that we can just have the foundation a kind of a cleared away. And the first step is that you need to learn computer basics right here. So I want you to find your way to understand how Windows and something like a Linux operating system actually work. And you need to do things like you learn users, you have to learn about permissions, something like files, services, even processes. And the reason for that is just because this is what hackers are kind of a target when they want to hack you or hack your system. And that's just basically the first step right there. Now let's move on to step 2. And in step 2, we basically need to learn in step 2 is called a networking. So you need to learn networking in step 2. So if you want to protect or hack systems, you must know how they communicate. You need to learn things like the OSI model. You need to learn about something like TCP or IP, and you also need to learn about IP addressing, DNS, HTTP, HTTPS, and even something like SSH, alright? You need to also know about ports and their protocols in this particular step. So you need to play around with the tools like something like Nmap and Wireshark just to see how data kind of travels, alright? So that's the second step right there. Now, without wasting more time, let's move on to step 3. And in step 3, you are going to take a look at something that is actually called the security fundamentals. And in this step, and what you basically want to learn in this step is, number 1, you need to learn the basics of a CIA triad, and you need to know the types of it. And the second one is that you need to know the types of attacks that those particular hackers can kind of bring. And the next one is actually types of malware. And after that, you need to learn about what vulnerabilities and exploits actually mean. Alright, so you need to know what vulnerabilities and the exploits actually mean. And the next one is how password and encryption kind of works. So you need to learn about this. So this phase alone makes you more knowledgeable than 50% of the beginners. Then once you are done with this, you need to move on to phase 2. And when you get on to phase 2, you are just going to begin to see how is it that you can even have your hands on cybersecurity, alright? So you need to have hands on cybersecurity right here. Now, this simply means that it's really time to get your hands really dirty right here. So for you to really get your hands dirty with this, you need to start learning and using real cybersecurity tools. And number 1 that I want to mention right here is called the Nmap for scanning. Alright, so we can use something like Nmap if you want to scan. And after that, we also have another one that is actually called the Bob Suite for hacking web applications. So if you want to make use of something like Bob Suite, you can use that for hacking web apps. And then after that, we have another one that is just called the Metasploit for exploitation. So you use that to learn how you can protect yourself from exploitation. Then after that, we'll have the one that is actually called John the Ripper, and this one is just basically used for cracking passwords. So you need to learn how to use that. And after that, we also have a Wireshark, and this one is really used for packet analysis. And we also have something like a SIS internals, and this is for Windows investigation. And we also have a Splunk or Elastic, which is just basically used for long analysis right here. Alright, so you can, if you want to practice all of these, there is a platform or some platforms that you can use. So you can use platforms like Try Hack Me, you can use Hack the Box, you can also use Range Force. And when you get there, you need to like basically do the beginner rooms. We also have something like a blue team rooms and even web hacking rooms right there. So you need to like go through all of these rooms so that you can actually qualify. All right, so this is basically where the team becomes a kind of a fun. So if you can go into those rooms and be able to practice those things in there, that's where the fun lies. Now the next thing I want to do is let's basically move on to phase 3. Which, when you are talking about the phase 3 right here, all you need to know is to choose a cybersecurity path. So at this point, you have built enough foundation to choose your direction now. And in 2026, these 4 paths are the most valuable. So this is really the most valuable in 2025, and then in 2026 is still going to be the most valuable. So the first path, let's say path 1 right here, is actually going to be the SOC Analyst, or you can call them Cybersecurity Analyst. So if you enjoy defending systems, watching security alerts and analyzing logs and even responding to incidents, so this is the field for you. All right, so you can go into this particular field. That's just basically Cybersecurity Analyst, or you can call that SOC Analyst. Then path 2 that one can actually follow is actually called a penetration tester or ethical hacker right here. So you can go into penetration tester or ethical hacker right here, and you should just basically go into this for those people who maybe enjoy something like breaking into systems, finding vulnerabilities, exploiting weaknesses, and maybe thinking like a hacker. All right, so this is just basically for you. If you want to maybe begin to see yourself as a hacker, you can go into penetration tester or ethical hacker. So now let's take a look at the path 3. All right, so the path 3, we do have something like cloud security engineer. So this is the highest paying path right now in 2025, and then in 2026 I believe it's still going to be the highest paying path. So learn AWS, learn Azure, Google Cloud, IAM, even cloud networking, and then something like container security. So you can just kind of go into that if that's what you basically enjoy. And for path 4, which is just basically GRC right here. So the abbreviation for this is just basically called a GRC, which is governance, risk, and compliance. So if you prefer a non-technical path, maybe just auditing, something like policies, frameworks, this route pays extremely well and is in massive demand right now. So you can just basically pick one of these paths that I just mentioned right here, and you should just basically be good to go. And you can just basically, after you do this, you can just move on to phase 4, which is just going to be the fun part of it. So in phase 4, this is just basically where you need to just build a portfolio. All right, so if you want to basically get hired, remember that if you stay silent, nobody's actually going to know your skill. All right, so this is just basically where you need to build something like a portfolio, and it's basically the most important step if you want to get hired in 2026. So your portfolio is more important than your certification. All right, so what you will include in your portfolio can be maybe something like what you can include in your portfolio can just be maybe a simple home lab you built, maybe a Windows Active Directory simulation, an incident response exercise. It could be maybe a web hacking walkthrough. It could be a vulnerability scan write-up, maybe something like SIEM detection rules that you created. Or maybe you can even add something like a cloud security hardening you kind of performed, right? So you can document everything on something like GitHub, Notion, Medium, or even personal website. So that when recruiters kind of see this, they can just instantly say that yes, of course, you kind of stand out from the crowd, and they can get you hired immediately. All right, so once you are done with your portfolio, the next thing we can go into, this could be a kind of an optional, but let's just call that phase 5, which is just all about certification. All right, so certification aren't actually mandatory, but they kind of help a lot. So that if you want to get interviews, you have certification, they can just kind of help you quite a lot. They may pick you out and begin to interview you. So for beginners, you can use something like TIA Security Plus, and you can even use something like Google Cybersecurity Certificate, even ISC2 certified in cybersecurity, which is talking about the CC right there. All right, you can just basically use that for basically beginners, alright? But for those maybe you are an intermediate, you can use something like EJPT, PNPT, and even something like a CYSA plus right there. So we even have something like the AZ500 that you can just use them for your certification. And for those that are into advanced, you can use something like CISSP. You can also use something like OSCP. So you can just choose a certification that kind of match your path, and you can just basically go with that. Alright. So once you are really done with your certification, the next logical thing to move into is just basically called your phase 6, and that's just when you just have to start applying for actual jobs. Alright. So once you have built skills, you have projects, and you have also maybe gotten your certification, you can just start applying for job. So you can look for jobs titles like something like SOC Analyst Tier 1, Cybersecurity Analyst. We also have something like IT Security Technician. We have a Junior Penetration Tester. We have GRC Analyst. We also have something like Cloud Security Associate. So you can send out maybe 20 to 30 applications per week. You don't actually need to know everything to maybe start applying to jobs. So nobody really does. You can always learn at your workplace, alright? So you don't have to like know everything before you can start applying to job. Alright, so you can learn on the job, guys. Alright, so let's summarize this right here. Alright, so we have mentioned that you just need to know the fundamentals. That's the first thing, and then you need to learn cybersecurity tools. You can pick a specialization, build a portfolio, get a certification if you want, and then apply for job roles. So you need to like follow these, and in 9 to 12 months you can realistically land your first cybersecurity job, even if you are starting from zero. Now I know that a good number of you may just be asking, don't people who are going to be going into cybersecurity, don't they need to learn how to code? Are they not going to be needing something like Python to be able to kind of know how to properly protect their systems? And I'm going to just give you an answer to that maybe in my next video. So if you want me to like do a video on if beginners in cybersecurity don't know something like Python, don't need something like Python or just any other programming language to be able to properly protect systems, or to be really called cybersecurity experts. I'm going to just answer the question in the next video, so you can go to the comment section and maybe drop a word something like Python, so that at a later time I'm going to just do a video to see if we really need to know how to code before you can actually become a cybersecurity expert in 2026. So thanks for watching, guys, and then I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.